Hi, y'all. We are back on Inauguration Day. Ooh. Um, Interesting things happening. Okay, so if you have not been keeping up with my conspiracy on who's running for president, who's really who, then I have the description filled with 3 videos that you can watch for proof and evidence, according to me, in my opinion. Okay, so if you haven't been keeping up with my Joe Biden and Trump and, MJ stuff, you won't understand this video. So go watch the other ones first that are in the description and then come back. They're also my playlist called Breakdowns. Just scroll down until you start seeing like Joe Biden and Trump's face and stuff like that on the thumbnail. Okay, so hi. Is there anyone here who's been keeping up? Let me know so I'm not talking to myself. All right. Anyway, I'll just go. So with the technology of voice changer, with the advanced, makeup and prosthetics, we have, people that can go around in plain sight that, with masks and things on and disguised voices and things like that. So before you judge the information I'm about to give, go watch the 3 videos that are very short and full of pictures in the description bar. So we already know who I think Joe Biden is. And I'm going to explain it in a deeper way. So Trump was number 45, right? 4 plus 5 equals 9. 9 being the last number, of the number sequence. So that's why he would be called the last president. Then starts over at 1, right? Which is 46, which is 10. So 10 would be number 1. So this is the beginning again. And you'd have to go from 0 to 10 because of the 0 and the 10. Okay, so in order to go from 0 to 1, or this is code, computer code 01, you have to be the loophole as well as the beginning again. Okay, so the loophole or the X factor or the 0 factor, okay, 0, right? Nothing. One cancels out the other. So you would have to have someone who's dead that's really alive, pretending to be someone alive who's really dead. Okay, you understand? Because a lot of people suspect that Joe Biden really died back when his son Beau was supposed to die, and that was really him with the prosthetic mask on in the casket, and that the person that's pretending to be Joe is also supposed to also be gone or dead. But at the same time, you have to have the X factor. So you have a person who was Black or African American, who then became white, who then died, who then took the place of someone who is supposed to be alive, who really died, who was white. Okay, y'all get it? All right. So you have a Black, white, dead and alive person right there. Okay, and plus his name means two rooms, 2 dens, by den. By means 2, den means room or whole or feeling, like 2 people. Joe means what? God's grace. So you have, the mix. You have the Black and the white there in the name as well as in the whole situation and as in the number, which is 10. Okay. Okay. I hope y'all got that. Y'all keeping up? All right. So he wears the blue tie. Same walk as MJ, same hands, all that kind of stuff. All right. Look at the videos if you want to see the evidence. Okay, so Jill, who's his wife? Who's his wife? Who's Jill? Because Jill ain't Jill. I'll give y'all a cue, a hint. Jill is not Jill. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So this would be Biden. I'm just going to give you an example of Biden in a picture form. Excuse the bad drawing, but this is Biden. Half and half, baby. Yin yang. Yin yang in this thing. Biden, okay? Uh-oh. When they were making a big deal about calling her a doctor, this is when I knew. Because this is code for okay. Doctor is code for this. And if you look, I have a picture. I didn't have a chance to put it up on the screen, but I will show you in my phone. This video is not going to be very long because I know y'all trying to go watch the thing happen. So if you look very close at Dr. Jill, her eyes are not really, these are contacts. You can tell that there's blue over dark eyes. Oh, sorry. That must be a video. You can tell that there's blue over dark eyes, because if you ever tried to wear contacts and you have brown or darker eyes, you're gonna see that the blue does not come through. It just looks like there's something over brown eyes. So you know those are contacts. Okay. Now, I'm just saying. They're the same height almost. They differ by 1 inch and they're almost the same weight. And she also uses the same arm and hand language that Whitney used when she performed and talked and spoke. She does the same hand movements. I'm going to put the video out later because I really want to work on it like I did the other ones, but I'll show you. I don't want to get copyright, but so I'll have to reverse it and all the stuff like that. So this is both of them walking together. And I'm going to show you Whitney doing almost similar things, okay? Same exact body language, hand movements, and all that. You'll see. So her eyes are not that color. This is someone else. And if you noticed, Whitney Houston, the name itself, Whitney means white. Houston means, a color stone, a color pineal gland, which is representing the consciousness or the, higher self. And then we have Michael Jackson. And we already knew that there was a couple back in the days, and that everyone secretly thought that they both faked their death and went to be together. And then her daughter left soon after, and then her fiance. So, they had to sneak off and, go do their thing. Right? Had to sneak off and get situated. So the people that are getting ready to be sworn in as First Lady and President are not who you think they are. The next thing, so Kamala Harris. Okay, so her name, so Elizabeth Johnson sent me this. I don't mean to tell her real name, but she sent me something, and I already knew it, but it just gave me a reminder. She said that Kamala's name means pale horse. Okay, so in the book of Revelation, Kamala, Kali, Indian, red, pale horse, and then pale red. So Kamala means pale red. So this is the loophole as well as the 0 and X factor for her, So she's red, but she's a Democrat. She has on a blue coat, but her name means pale red. So then she becomes purple, right? And so the purple is the purple rain. When the heavens and the earth meet, when things are merged as one. Okay. And also symbolic of, in the Bible, the harlot that rides the beast, this, wearing red and all that, But horse is also code for whore. Horse, get it? Horus, horse, whore, half and half. So this is why you have a lot of strange goings on surrounding this election. And Trump, he's like the distractor. He's like the trickster. And he tricked everybody and to keep this whole thing from being, realized. So his job was to keep and make the country fall so it looks like an end and a new beginning. That was his job. Okay. It's been written about a lot of times, so we already know that's orchestrated. So his job was to end the old way so that a new way could begin. And this is hilarious because right before he left, he pardoned a bunch of rappers. He pardoned Lil Wayne, some Kodak Black, and a couple of other people from, Rock Nation that works for them. And you see this Kamala Prince. I don't know about that. Well, I'll have to look deeper. But I'll definitely look into that one. I haven't done her yet completely. But I'd have to really look. I don't think so though. But yes, so at the notice they go to the cemetery and give honor to the fallen soldiers, right? So the soldier used to be Michael. Remember, he dressed in military wear. So that means now instead of being the soldier, he's become the president or the leader or, basically like the head dude, like the god. And he was saying goodbye to his old self, his old life, and moving on to, preside over, which is what president means, to preside over. So in the ionosphere, now let's jump to the ionosphere. In the ionosphere, there was an order of Mary and the Son and, Mary and Jesus, which is the layers of the ionosphere. So you have the layer on the top, which is Mary, and then you have Mary Magdalene, and then you have Jesus. So when things are reversing, now you're going to have the Jesus or Michael character at the top, and then you're going to have Mary underneath, like Mary Magdalene, and then which is like the whore. That's why Kamala is the vice president, because everything is switching backwards. Now, that's why there was so much chaos, because this was the paradigm shift. And that's why there was a lot of chaos going around at that time with, with women and, everything was flipping, the positions were turning and da, 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 da. But as the women get closer to the earth and the masculine or whatever gets closer to the heavens or, whatever, it's ascension and descension. So it's meeting in the middle. It's meeting in the middle. And that's why this whole election and things were so crazy. That's why 2020 is crazy. 2021 is going to be full of like adjustments to the chaos and things like that, and starting over, almost like trying to find new ways to tackle old problems. So it's going to be interesting, but remember, sometimes you have to switch out old way of thinking, because the creative way of thinking is more sufficient than an old system of thinking. That's why they rated the Capitol, because the Capitol represents a head, like someone's dome, someone's head. They had to rate it and get everything, messed up. And then that's why Donald Trump had to leave, because he was the old way of thinking. So his role was to play white supremacy in the old way of thinking. So that's why he had to go. That's why the Capitol was raided. And this is why a new way of thinking is coming in. But in order for it to be a smooth transition or a smooth criminal, people can't know who the people are that are actually leading the country, because they wouldn't have voted for them. And the reason why the drugs surrounding both these celebrities were so publicized is because drugs is code for something else. It's code for um, white, or it's code for poison or chemical or pharmaceutical. It's not like a doctor or a healer. It's the opposite of an alchemy. It's the reverse of alchemy, right? So this is why the drugs were involved. Maybe these people really weren't on drugs. We don't know. But drugs is code for, descending, a dissension. Okay. And so this is why both of them, quote unquote, died, which means became two, or two people, or became double lives, and one black as one white. This is why they died of a drug overdose and became white for the camera, for the masks, so on and so on. Okay. And so what we have is a mask. That's why we're wearing all these masks. And Michael Jackson has a song called Behind the Mask. So that's why we're wearing all these masks, with life, COVID, with life, So now we're going to be a country that's going to be ran by a genius musician, and I'll have to look into Kamala, like I said, but in a woman, or whoever Kamala might be. I don't know. I have to look into it. I just want to say that before everybody got sworn in, A, B, C, and D. And then also he has Justin Timberlake and John Legend playing at the inauguration. We know Justin Timberlake is like the white version of Michael Jackson almost, basically. And a lot of his 2020 album is very much clue and knowledge about what's going on now, if you listen to it. Yes. So if y'all don't realize, when this is my opinion, okay, when Joe Biden's son died, that was really Joe. That was really Joe. And they put a prosthetic mask over that, face. And when Michael, quote unquote, died, it wasn't Michael. And so the living becomes the dead, and the dead becomes the living. I'm the living dead. So it's the zero, it's the X factor, it's the loophole, it's the starting back over. It's it's also like the story of Lucifer or the fallen angels, when they get stripped of their ability to get back into the heavens, but they're still, their identity and their consciousness is still of the cosmos, you see? So it's the same thing. It's the fallen, but their mind over humanity, and to create a heaven on earth is the same thing. That's the story of Lucifer. He wanted to create his own world and rule over it. So he had to fall from the heavens, which means he would descend and lose his eumelanin in order to create. And then they said that the fallen made it with the sons of man, or the daughters of men. So there's the mix right there. And then we would have, what we have now, the interracial agenda. That's what a lot of this stuff in Revelations is about. It's in code. That's what you see being pushed on commercials, TV shows, But the smooth criminal aspect, or the smooth transition, is necessary because people won't understand, and they don't know how this whole secret society thing works, of why they chose these people, because they were the top music artists. Music is a vibration, okay? Music is a frequency. If you can change if you can change the earth's frequency by your passing, you are a high frequency being, period. So that's why they chose these two, because they were the ones that could do that. Like, no other woman that has died has caused that much. Like, I know when men die, it's more profound for some reason, because like there are children. But when a woman dies, you won't see as much sadness. But when Whitney, you saw more than you would have with any other female. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they used her, because they were able to shift the frequency of the earth into a different dimension. Okay. And so if you're able to do that, you are powerful. You are highly powerful, So this is why they're being put in that position, because they were the only ones who could do it. Okay. We don't know where Princess Di is. She might be doing the same thing overseas. We don't know. But I don't keep up with them. So y'all could do y'all's own investigation on that, but that would be very interesting. So they're the frequency changers and the shifters, so that they're able to command a room. They're able to, their energy is there, and that's why they got that position. Okay. Yeah. So that's what's going on right now. But if you know, if you don't, you don't. People aren't going to come out and just say it. You just have to have a keen eye, and eyes to see and ears to hear, and you have to connect all the dots. Now, it doesn't really matter. What matters is what's going to be done. It doesn't matter who's who, because I already know who's who, but it doesn't matter. The funny thing is I always knew that they might end back up together. MJ and Whitney. Okay. If you want to see some evidence and proof, go watch when MJ and Whitney were together back in the 80s or 90s, and they were at a bunch of award shows, a bunch of like ceremonies and award, speeches and stuff, where she gives him an award, or she goes with him to receive his, honorary degree or something like that, or doctorate from somewhere. Just go and watch them together, and go and watch their body language, and go look around. You'll see. Right. What are my thoughts on the singing of Amazing Grace and then the sisters poem? Okay, so Amazing Grace means like amaze, like amaze, a literal maze, and then grace represents melanin. Sister represents your sister, which is not someone like you, but someone kind of like you. You know what I mean? So Kamala Harris. Suge Avery and Celie, but she was singing the song Sister, but her sister was gone in another continent. So she replaced her almost, So the point was everything is symbolic. That's why they had the little George Washington army, in the red coats, whatever, because he was quote unquote the first president. And so this was honoring the first president again, because 46, 4 plus 6 is 10, which is 1 or 1 0. And if you reverse it in the mirror, it's 0 1. So that's why we have the loophole and the black, white, and the dead and alive and all of that. I don't know. I forgot what the name Jill meant, but let me go look it up. But then I'm going to go after this, because I want to go do some stuff and watch. Let me see. Jill name. Let's see what that means. Means child of the gods. Interesting, right? So doctor represents, it means you melanated. And remember, MJ received an honorary doctorate as well. So this is all adding up. You just have to read between the lines. You have to see what's hidden, because this is how things work. Everything is hidden from you. And if you can't see it, you're not one of them, or you're not able to see it. You're just one who's tricked and fooled until you're able to see it. So it's very hard. It's very hard to deal with people that, can't see certain things, and you can't really talk to a lot of people because they'll just look at you crazy, like you blind. Like, literally, people are blind to a lot of things. You can see with your eyes, but you can't really see because you're not paying attention. You're not looking at detail. You're just glancing over something. You're not really observing. And when you observe something, you're going to find things that people won't find. That's kind of like a telescope or a satellite. Google Earth, right? Y'all remember the old satellite pictures of the Earth? They couldn't zoom in and get detail, and now they can. They can basically have, X-ray vision now. They can see inside your body. But before, which is like 4D, right? But before, all they could see was like some landscapes and hills. Your vision has to become more acute if you want to know what's really happening, because that's how they hide things in plain sight. You don't hide things anymore. You just depend on people's inability to pay attention to detail while you distract them with something else. And this is why I'm telling you, look where no one else is looking, in plain sight. Okay. That's where your secrets are going to be hidden, because you won't. If you go looking for secrets, you're not going to look in plain sight most of the time. You're just going to start looking in quote unquote distracting, places. Just like on the movie, The Da Vinci Code or National Treasure, everything was hidden in plain sight. All the clues were hidden in plain sight, all the directions. So if one were just to go to a location and they had a question to ask, the signs in plain sight would lead them to it if they understood what they were looking at, or they understood the code, right? So that's pretty much it. Do y'all have any questions? I just wanted to get that out before everything went down, just in case there's some parallels or some clues and hints as to what's actually going on. And not to mention MJ's quote unquote secret son, perhaps, we don't know, alleged secret son, B. Howard. He always hashtags Mr. President after his name. So that's interesting, right? Okay. My brother got... What do you mean? What about Lady Gaga? What are we talking about her for? Is she going to perform too? I didn't see her outfit. What she got on? You said Fabio Jackson is on TikTok? Okay. What are you talking about? Are you talking about today? Yeah. Okay. You said the red gown. Yep. Let's see. Oh, she's performed today. Oh, I need to go watch the rerun. I'm sure they'll be playing it all night, or maybe not. I don't know. I must have missed that part. Let me fast forward. I have it on live here. She already performed just now? Okay. I'm trying to talk about today, y'all. Like, keeping up with what's happening today, because that's what's going to be the symbolic stuff. All right. She performed the anthem. Okay. Thank you. And did she have on a red dress? Okay. in a Hunger Games outfit. She had on a Star Wars uniform. Goodness gracious. Battle. She's ready for war. That means she's ready to mix. That means it's symbolic for mixing. War and battle means to mix. That's all it means. This is it. This would it mean. Okay. One side against the other. Literally, figuratively, not literally. You know what I mean? This is battle. This is war. World War III, baby. That's the agenda for now, because that's the loophole. This is 0, this is 1, or yeah. Computer code, right? So this is the battle. So if you get this, or you get this. Oh, hold on. The sun and the moon would make what? The crescent moon. Or this also represents the star, because it's shiny like the sun, but pale like the moon. So it looks like a star. Or it also is the crescent moon, which is why the Muslim symbol is the crescent moon with the star. Because that's what it is. Okay. So this is like -1. This would be 0, but within the 0, you have the code. And then this would be regular 1 on a number line or a timeline. So together you get the 0 or the loophole. Okay. That's what it is. And then you reverse it back. Like, then it's going to reverse back and start doing this. And people are going to start going back to their own race. And then it just repeats in the cycle over and over again. But the point they're trying to do is to stop the cycle from happening again. Like, they don't want this. They don't want this to happen again. They want to bring the heaven to the earth. And so no one's trapped, and no one's trapped, and no one is, treated less than or whatever. So everyone's equal. See? That's what they're trying to bring in. The equality. So we're back at 1, 0, 1 right now, or 0, 1, 0, 10, 1. That's why they have to do the overlapping of black, white, dead, alive, because this is the start, the end of the point on the circle where you start and begin. So if you have a circle, I'm going to erase this. You have a circle, there's a point where you start and begin. Like a little point. Okay. So this is what's happening now, right? We're here. 12 o'clock. It's midnight, baby. It's close to midnight. Okay. There you go. And so that's what's going on. And at midnight, you can't tell who's who. Can't tell. Like, everything is on the 12. All the hands are on the 12. So a midnight person, a sun at midnight, could be a light skin, super light or mixed person who's black, has black in them, or bleached, or whatever, light white, light dark white, whatever, Jewish, white, light, I don't know. You know what I mean? Where you can't tell. Like, you ever see one of those people you can't tell if they black or white or black? Or I know he got like a couple of specks in him, but I can't tell. You know, they could go either way. They about to slide. That's midnight. That's why Drake was singing the song, I Could Dance Like Michael Jackson. That means dance means vibrate or move. That means he could move in both directions. Like if Michael Jackson sneaks out and puts on prosthetics, he can dress up like a white person because his skin is white, but his mind and his, inside his body and his thoughts and his consciousness is of course black because that's how he grew up. So he's both in one. So, and that's actually what his name means. He who is like God, son of Jack, which is man, son of man, he who is like God, son of man. All right. And then of course his middle name is Joe. Joe. And so is his daddy's name. So back at one, his dad's name, he came from a Joe, became a Michael, going back to a Joe. And who was Jesus's? Jesus also represents the same kind of character. So who was Jesus's daddy or earth daddy? Joseph. So going back. And remember, he was of a mixed race, or that's why they had to flee Egypt. Because it was, illegal back then or whatever. Then you had the three, let me see. You know how they say bring him silver and gold? That's black and white, gold and silver. It's the sun and the moon. So silver, that's the moon. And gold is the sun. And then this they gave him as gifts in frankincense and myrrh. Okay, frank means truth. Myrrh is sea. The true sea. Okay, melanin. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. Myrrh, mermaid, sea, myrrh, Mary, sea. Oh, I can't see that word. So this all breaks down with etymology, with words, with the story, with everything that you see and don't see. And so if you notice a lot of stuff that reminds you of someone like MJ start to pop up, then you know why. Okay. I hope he makes a new national anthem. Probably won't, but I can be hopeful. All right. I'm done. Thanks for listening. And like I said, if you want the actual slideshow evidence and things like that I don't have it for Whitney yet, but I'm going to make it soon. But I do have it for Michael. He also walked in Trump's shoes for a little while as well to get the practice. Okay. And that video is there too. So there's 3 short, picture slideshow voiceovers where I'm explaining it to you. I still need to work on Kamala and Jill, but I think we already know who Jill is. Kamala, I got to look into her. I don't know. All right. Well, y'all go have fun. You said what? Beyonce put a picture of Kamala up when they were younger, and they actually looked related. Y'all need to go watch my videos because I have a lot of connections on them. There, I put them in the description, and y'all gonna be like, if y'all haven't seen them already. There was one that I recently, just yesterday, made public again because I had made it private because of what was happening. I didn't want too many people to. I didn't want that information to get out like that. So I made it private, but I just made it unprivate last night. So I did put that one in the description. I think I don't know if it's the first or the last one. But y'all go have fun. Look with an open mind. You have to unlearn everything that you think you know and just open your mind and let the dots connect. I'm not trying to push anything on you. I'm just saying open your mind and look with a new set of eyes, an observant pair of eyes, some Google Earth eyes. Look with satellite eyes, not regular eyes. Okay. You say a reporter said Joe would be a good priest during inauguration. Yep. Priest also represents you melanated. So listen for the keywords. The news will drop them keywords as well. Also, there's a painting on the ceiling of the Capitol that explains it all. The same thing. There's even a hidden white face and a hidden face, and there's native. You just got to go look at it. I think it was at the beginning of the inauguration where some lady was explaining the ceiling art. If y'all can find it, go look at that. And it's super coded. I posted it on my community section. It's the same story over and over and over and over. Okay. I'll see y'all later. Y'all go watch and see become the president, and I will always love you become the first lady. And I'm gonna go try to pay attention to Kamala and see who this really is, because I can't see Prince wearing no tennis shoes. Okay, he would at least put on them heels. I don't think it's Prince. It might just be her. The Prince coming through with them heels. Okay, he's like, no. But we don't know. We have to see. His feet might be tired. All right, we'll see. Bye.